Detroit Autorama 2019, America's greatest hot rod show. Inside Cobo Hall, thousands of beautiful cars, thousands of wonderful stories, and we're going to tell them all. Okay, a few of them, because that's what you do when you're all over the place. Well, we have to begin by following up on our previous episode of All Over the Place, Murray Pfaff's 1959 Imperial Evolution. When we last saw it, it was in several pieces. That is no longer the case. It has made it here to Autorama and is now presented in all of its glory. Well, the last time we saw the car, it didn't look like this. How pleased are you with the final result?
I'll be honest with you, I'm still getting used to it. Every time I walk up on it, it's just like, oh yeah, check that out. I'm very pleased with it. I mean, I don't think I could ask much more of it.
What was the process of finishing the car? How easily did everything go back together?
Well, right, I mean, how easily, right? I mean, everything should just fall back into place like a puzzle that had been together for 7 years and 7,000 miles. And most of it did. But there were those pieces where it was like, oh my God, lining up the front end and aligning all the sheet metal, why did that take 24 man-hours to do? But that's the thing about these builds. They never cease to surprise you. You wonder, why did this go that way or did it go this way? And there were a couple things. I took lots of reference photos so that I would have that, but it never took enough. I don't think you ever take enough. And they came in very handy, and having known that it was together before lets you look and inspect it. It was solving a mystery all over again in some instances.
So is this weekend a celebration, a chance to catch your breath, or do we just keep on plugging along here?
Well, this week, I mean, look around. It's not a chance to catch your breath because it just keeps on rolling. So it'll be a celebration for sure. Everywhere you turn at Autorama, there's something that takes your breath away. That is literally the case with Jamie Carey and his 1967 Chevelle.
This has been a childhood dream of mine. I've been coming since I was a little kid, just barely to walk. And every year I've always wanted a car to come down here, or to be presentable to down here. So yeah, this is a childhood dream. And then also with my lung transplant, it's been another bucket list item.
Oh, it was funny because while he was getting pictures of the car in primer, supposedly, I was getting pictures of what the car actually looked like and the progress that they were making. So I knew what was going on. His best friend spearheaded everything. They've been friends since they were kids, and this is just, it was something that he wanted to do for Jamie. So he made sure that the paint was getting done, parts were needed, he was getting the parts for the car to make sure that it was put together and you know, that it looked phenomenal once Jamie, you know, once the unveiling happened and he really got to see it.
So Jimmy, you knew part of the story, but not the whole story.
Not the whole story. I knew it was getting painted and I knew the colors, but I had no idea.
What was the day like, and give me the circumstances around when you saw the car and found out everything that had been done?
I was amazed. It was something like you've seen on TV. You know, it was amazing to see. I had no words. I'm sure there was tears of everyone. I know I had some, and I couldn't give enough thanks. I just was amazed. I had no idea my car would ever look like this. I'd never expected it. Didn't think it would be possible to do this.
Yeah, to really enjoy Autorama, you have to look at things from a different perspective, and sometimes it requires getting low.
Nissan hard body truck. I acquired it back in '89, right out of high school. We had it done up. That's a picture of it over there. We ended up losing it for about 15 years. We bought it back, and me and my son did everything on it, from interior, the paint, everything, for his graduation gift. So now it's his, and if he enjoys it as much as I did 25 years ago, that's the whole plan. And we've been down here. We brought it down in '89. We had it down here in 2005 when we first put it together. And since 2005, we did a lot of stuff, changed it up and added more, and did a bunch of gold plating, gold leaf, and did everything we could to kind of spruce it up, bring it down to the show.
What was it like to be able to do this with your dad?
It was great. You know what I'm saying? To be able to go out in the garage, spend time, and you know what I'm saying, put it together. Just me and him, it was really good.
That's one of the great things about Autorama. There's a million different stories here, and sometimes there's $1 attached to every one of those stories. More often than not, that's the case when you walk up here amongst the Grade 8.
We did everything. I don't think there's anything stock left on the car. It was completely a big project. 1 year worth of welding in this car, just metal work. Been a big project.
What does it mean to you to be a shop from Mississippi to be up here in Detroit and one of the Grade 8 finalists?
It's huge. It's really huge, and I'd like to thank Sonny and Debbie Freeman for allowing us to build the car.
This car's been in my family for 35 years, my personal car. I got married in this car, and I've been building it ever since then. And it's gone through many phases of construction. Back in the day when I had no money, building it myself, till today. It's been a JF custom shop for 3 years, and we've been building it for the last 3 years to this level.
What all did you do to the car?
We might as well just say everything. There's not a thing on this car that's stock or factory. I mean, we right from the bottom, right from the frame to the body to the motor to the transmission rear end, everything in this car is aftermarket and custom built.
After 35 years, you got to be itching to get back behind that wheel.
Yeah, after 35 years, for sure, I want to get in there, and I'm really happy because my wife's been really giving me a hard time for all the time and money I've spent on this car. So at least we got something to show for it.
We had a group of people that worked together on it really well, and as we kind of progressed over 3 years, we got the car to a level that they said, let's go to Autorama, and I really did not believe we could compete, because my wife and I had our first date here in 1972. That's how many years we've been coming, and I didn't think, when they gave me the flag yesterday, I cried. I mean, you go, oh, I said, oh God, now like a sissy little girl. But you know, it's emotional because you invest a lot of time, and you know, because you've done one, and I've done a lot of them, but not to this level.
You built it to drive it. Are you going to be able to drive it?
I am going to drive it. I drive all my cars. That's the fun. I mean, if you can't drive it, why have it?
Well, these cars are all great, but you know how it is. You're out cruising, sometimes you get the munchies, so you need a little snack. If you drive these cars long enough, eventually they break down. You need a place to repair them. And if you don't have the room at home, storage is a priority. And now a word from our sponsors. When you're down here at Autorama, as a car guy, what are you looking at? What do you gravitate towards?
I look at everything. I can't pick a favorite. I like all cars. I'm mostly into Fords, but Mustangs, but really everything.
And you're really into this one here, right?
Yes, absolutely.
What's the story behind this car?
It's a 1970 Triumph TR6, been modified with a Ford 302 C4 trans and a 9-inch rear end.
How did you end up starting the Canton Car Cave, and how much of that just was spawned from your love of these cars?
You know, it's been years in the making. We just wanted a cool place to start it out to store cars that we had, and thought it would be a great place to let people store cars, have fun. We have the pool tables and all that stuff. You know, and it's just a great place to hang out, and if you're into cars.
When people come in there, what kind of services will they find available to them?
If you store your car there, we have 2 pool tables, game room, a customer lounge, wash and detail bay. It's all included in your monthly storage fee.
When you look at cars and come down here, do you see work, or do you enjoy them for what they are?
Actually, I actually enjoy them for what they are. I don't look at it like everything's a job and I got to take it and handle something with it. I just like looking at the cars. I like looking at the innovations that people do in their own garages on stuff that I know that I do, and then kind of compare the two and see where I'm at. It gives me new ideas to look at.
How important do you think your role is in helping preserve this hobby? Because you know these cars, you've worked on them for so many years.
The problem we have right now in the industry is replacement people. I've got a young guy that's working for me that's 22 years old that's energetic about it, but other than that, there's not a lot of people out there. They're really hard to find. And as with my grandson who's here with me today, a couple years ago, the two of us rebuilt a 21 Model T from the ground up, just the two of us in the wintertime. Got this all up and running, and he drives it. He's now 14. We still drive it in the subdivision because it's kind of illegal to go on the road. He knows how all the pedals work and everything else. I'm trying to get him interested in it because without his enthusiasm, where's that 21 Model T going to go? You know, it's going to get lost in the woodwork. Most of the stuff, the older cars, the older gentlemen that loved them, they can't drive them anymore.
I love coming to Autorama because of all the exotic cars and the detail that people do on their cars. You know, they make them custom and to their style. You know, and sort of like you did to your Chevy. Yeah.
Well, what do you look for when you're looking at cars? What catches your eye?
Details. I am for the small little details. I like to see where somebody went through a hell of a lot of work just to tuck this in or work this out, because those are the things that make the car, and you don't notice them unless somebody points them out, you know. Yeah. It's really fun.
How lucky are we to have this in our backyard at our disposal every year?
Oh, I'll tell you, this is world class here. This is a world class Autorama car show. You know, you don't get any better than this.
If you've been to Autorama and never made it downstairs, you're apparently missing out. Everybody says this is where all the really cool stuff is. Who am I to argue? You'll literally see and meet all kinds of characters at Autorama, including this guy. Having a good time? Should really do something about those teeth.
So, what do you guys got to say about Detroit and the Autorama Extreme?
Come on,
It's
man.
amazing.
It's Detroit. It's the Autorama. It's the highlight of every car show.
Right.
Shut up. I'm talking.
Keep talking.
If you don't think this stuff is cool, you're clearly missing the point. There's a lot of sharp edges on it, I noticed. You have to drive with caution.
Everybody always freaks out. They're like, what if you go through the windshield? You're going to be mangled like meat. And I'm like, well, they'll be worth it, you know. Like
You go to the windshield, you have problems anyways.
that's
right?
it, you know. If that's the way I die, that's good with me, you know. No, I'm just happy overall with the whole thing right now. You know, I'm gonna finally have some time this summer to finally start having fun with it myself.
I just want to tell the folks I'm Gene Winfield, and I'm here from California, and I'm chopping another car. Detroit Autorama is so great because partly the number of vehicles. You know, we got probably over 1,000 cars here, and upstairs and downstairs, and so the whole thing, it brings all kinds of cars to the public, and that's the greatest thing here. And I enjoy every part of it, every phase of it, because it is so different to have people walk up and look at a car and say, wow, what did they do, you know? That's just great.
It's really cool to see Carl Casper's 1951 Chevrolet here, which has received this year's Preservation Award. It's not the first time this car has won an award at Detroit's Autorama. It debuted back in 1960 and won Best of Show, which is now known as the Riddler Award. It's a car that helped launch a career that led Casper to design such iconic automobiles as the General Lee, and a car for some dude named Batman. So what's it mean to you to have the Empress recognized with the Preservation Award?
Well, it's, of course, a tremendous honor and a thrill, first of all, to be back in Detroit. This show always ran against my Louisville show, so I haven't been able to attend up here probably for the past 50 years. So it's been quite a while. But anyway, the Empress, when it won Best of Show here in 1960, it was the first show at Cobo Hall. And of course, I was just a young kid. Very, very exciting time for me, and kind of helped launch my career, because I went on from there to the Don Riddler, his last show he produced at the Fairgrounds in Detroit, and won Best of Show there, and then went on to the NHRA Nationals at Indianapolis, won Best National Championship Custom, and then that, of course, got it all together for the Empress. So we restored it in 2004, and we brought it back here, and of course the fans love it. This Preservation Award is going to be just a super honor. So Detroit's really a big part of our family, a place we love. We want to see the city come back strong, do everything we can to support it. And again, the Autorama, of course, speaks for itself. It's just a legendary show that's one of the best ever. I mean, this has been the greatest joy trip a human being could ever have.
Did you ever imagine when you made that Empress in 1951, you'd end up having the life and being involved in the cars you've been involved with?
No, not at all. It's just been a great trip. Everybody's been so wonderful. Friends, family, extended family, associates. I mean, I can't thank everybody enough. And I want everyone, especially the people here in Michigan, to know how much I love you, admire you, appreciate you, and all you've done for me. Thank you very, very much.